Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Dad?
How you doing?
What's up, Dad?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Apologies about missing last week's episode. That's on me. We were in the hospital, and yeah.
All three of us, you, me, and your wife. We were all there.
Yeah, that was on me. But yeah, man, things are good. We're back. We're potting.
Bro, we're back. How's dad life?
All right, let's just get right into it. This is going to be this might be a bit of a monologue, and I'm going to preface this by saying I'm hesitant to talk about this in depth or to whatever level I'm going to. And I've thought about it a lot. Like I've thought about this episode a lot over the last week and a half, because I'm very sensitive to people who want to have kids and can't have kids. And so I'm like weighing that with what I'm feeling and wanting to share what I'm feeling. Man, I'm going to cry.
It's a real dad life.
I can't even get it out. I was not expecting this. Especially with you, because I don't cry with you. That's how we
Especially
do
with
things.
you, bro.
Well, we're like, it's like crying in a locker room or something. Bro, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Like,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. There's not going to be a monologue, actually. I can't do a monologue right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. But it's really, really amazing. Yeah. Baby girl, born. She's 11 days old now. And yeah, man, things are really good.
What's so great? Can you put it into words? Like, what's so great about it?
Yeah, I was trying, but then I was losing it. So then I just had to like halt the whole thing. I would argue, I'm gonna approach this from a very me-like way in the way I go about this right now. I would argue that from 2018 until May 2nd of this year, I was having a real crisis of meaning in my life, and I didn't even know it. Like I kind of did, but not really. Like in the years prior, I was unbelievably passionate about building my business. So that occupied my attention and focus, and it felt like a mission, and there was excitement and adventure. And since 2018, I would argue I've been on like autopilot with my business, which is great. I enjoy it. I like helping people. I have a full client roster. I love it more than any other job I could imagine, but it didn't have the same level of meaning as it did from 2012 to 2018. And in the absence of meaning in life, we look for that feeling in other places that are more hedonic, leaning into vice, leaning into overconsumption, leaning into sin to a degree, leaning into these things that are almost in a temporary antidote to a lack of meaning in life. And I remember a vlog. I don't know if it was 2016 or 2017. One of those years, I think I was wandering around Manhattan like late at night, just camera talking. And I remember saying, like, struggling to find meaning in life. And I remember saying, you could always just have kids. Like it felt like an automatic way. Logically, I didn't know the feeling, but logically it felt like I see all my friends doing it. I see how they're acting. Like we've done it for all of human history. Like logically, to find meaning in life, you could procreate and then you have automatic meaning there. I didn't really know what it meant, but I remember saying it and I remember it making sense in my brain. 9 years or whatever since I said that, I still didn't know what that would feel like. When my wife was pregnant, I didn't have that sense of feeling. When she was getting bigger, I didn't have that sense of feeling. When we saw baby on the ultrasound, the heartbeat, the growth scan, like all of these steps along the way, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months pregnant, like due date's coming, I still didn't have that feeling. Maybe slightly during the labor process, but not really, honestly. It was more just fear on my part, that like hoping everything would be okay, until the moment I saw my daughter, like everything changed. And I actually can't put it into words well, at least, other than to say it's completely shifted my perspective on every decision, on every moment. I think I had a fear over the last year of like, I'm selfish. What if I'm a bad dad? What if I like don't care about her? There were like these weird thoughts that I had that just like were automatically washed away when I saw her. Like everything changed. How I drive changed. Like how I think about, I don't have a fear of death like I did before. I have a fear of something happening to her. I don't want to get too into this beyond what I'm saying. And again, I'm trying to balance this with being sensitive to other people and the fact that if I would have heard myself on this monologue like 5 years ago, I probably would have been like, I wouldn't have been able to relate, because I don't know that you can fully until you experience it. And that almost sounds douchey too. It's like, oh,
you can't. It's just you can't.
Yeah. I don't want to be like, oh, you can't know what this feels like, but I do. But all I can say is the moment I saw her, everything in my life changed. And, I'm the king of sleep, right? I'm 9 hours a night. I'm the 6-pillow solution. I'm the sleep guy. I went 2 weeks averaging maybe 3 hours a night and just running on pure adrenaline, and it felt great. There's times where you're tired, you're dozing off, but everything in my life changed for the better. And I'm just super, super grateful. And I guess sharing this, one, because it happened and I'm talking to you about it, but two, as a slight encouragement to the next generation around a potential life path to consider, even if it's not as in vogue as it may have been 50 or 75 years ago.
Yeah, it's funny you brought up that you're not scared of death anymore. I was going to ask, I was like, has your fear changed? And it's shifted from yourself to her.
I have nightmares about something bad happening to her, and like wake up and make sure she's okay.
Yeah, dude, makes total sense. And then what was the other thing? It was the fear, and then and you were like, averaging like 3 hours a night, and you feel great. It's because before it wasn't worth it to not get that sleep. Now, not getting that sleep it's the most worth it thing in the world. Mm-hmm. And it's like you get to take care of that most incredible worth it thing in the world, and you get to spend time with her, and you get to hold her, and you get to it's you feel great because you're doing that thing. Like you're doing it's awesome, dude. And I understand it also. It sounds douchey. Like I get it, but also it's just that it's a fact. It's sort of like if someone does a psychedelic drug and they're like, oh, you just can't understand it unless you do it. It's like, fair. Like, I totally understand that there's no way I could understand it unless I did that. Yep. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Well, let's go, Dad. and obviously, Mom is good. She's
Mom's
doing
good.
great.
Mom's an absolute champ. Mom carried the load last night with the podcast today. I got more sleep than I have been getting. Mom was MVP of
That's awesome.
last night. Yeah. And everyone's healthy, and yeah.
Good.
Things are good.
Good.
Things are good.
Is there anything else on dad topic you wanted to hit on?
Bro, we could do a whole podcast on dad topic and intertwine it with fitness dad topic, because somehow running on minimal sleep I think I've trained 3 times in the last
5 days or something? 6 days?
No, because I had time off when we were in the hospital. Actually, I did one set of they have the pregnancy ball.
Yeah.
Like this ball in there. I did one set of body weight hamstring curls to failure at one point.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Nurses are like, what's wrong with this guy? Had the foam roller in there too. In the last 8 or 9 days, I guess, I've trained 3 times, and I was telling you I'm shifting to a twice a week strength training program. and we can get into that too, because I have some things to say on that. I've had the 3 best lifts that I've had in 5 years.
In terms of like weight lifted or like how it feels, like
Probably not in terms of like setting PRs on everyone, but in terms of energy, in terms of how it feels, in terms of being completely exhausted, but then doing it anyway. But before that first workout, that I was running on 2 hours of sleep that night. I had told myself this was the day I'm going to get back into the gym. I didn't want to train at all. It's like, this is going to feel awful. And I remember sitting on the couch thinking, I don't want to work out. However, I might always be feeling like this, or at least for a number of months. This is how I'm going to be feeling. And so if I don't work out right now, I legitimately thought I might take 3 months off of training. I was like, I'm not doing that. Got up, grabbed the pre-workout, went to the gym, had the best lift I've had in years. Which I am attributing to dad's strength. I think that is a real thing.
It's also I'm wondering, has your purpose in lifting shifted already? Like, have you been like, wow, dude, this is like not striving for Olympia anymore? Like where are you at?
That's a wild pinpoint accurate statement by you or prediction, because the one thing that has really changed is how much I care about maximizing muscle growth. I want to feel better. I switched gyms as well, because my one gym was like a 15 or 16 minute commute. So I switched one that's a 6 or 7 minute commute, just saving me like 20 plus minutes on a round trip times however many workouts. And efficiency is something that I'm prioritizing more in my training. A twice a week schedule for 60, maybe like 60 to 70 minutes of lifting. So they're hard workouts, but only twice a week for 60 to 70 minutes. And kind of this, I guess, isn't specific to having a kid, although it probably blends in, but maybe we can throw this on the screen. A few weeks back, I texted you a picture that I stumbled across of myself in 2014.
Wild.
And I looked jacked.
Yeah, huge.
I looked big. I looked juicy. Like, I looked non-natural in that picture. I forgot that I ever looked like that, basically. And it was an insane pump, and I was lean at the time, and say whatever, but it was, I'm not trying to blow myself up. It was a great picture. And then very recently, I saw a picture of someone who I have a ton of respect for, someone who is brilliant, someone who is one of the great minds in the fitness space, and I still have massive amounts of respect for. But he had taken like a month off of training and was posting kind of a vulnerability picture, and didn't, like, he was fat, or he didn't look great. He intentionally, that was the point of the picture, was, hey, I'm not looking great, but I'm going to in a matter of time, was kind of where he was going with it. And had just been through some things, whatever. But what I realized was, in the last several years, I have, for some reason, lended too much credit to the newest quote unquote science over my own personal experience when it comes to training, right? If this person who's brilliant and has millions of followers and can analyze research better than me says that 52 sets a week is a good thing for optimizing muscle growth, I don't know why I have felt the need to like bend the knee to that person's point of view over my own perspective. Because when I compare what I was doing at the time, and by the way, I was 26 in this picture that I saw, and I'm 38 now. So there's clear differences, although not really, to be honest. A natural dude from 26 to 38, like, if anything, you should see improvements in physique. You shouldn't see fall off, depending on lifestyle. Like, there are a lot of factors here. But basically, at the time, I was following a low volume, high intensity, taking lots of sets to failure, training 3 days a week max approach. And over the last several years, I've dabbled in much higher volume training. And it all came to a head of like, where has this gotten me? Like, where has this approach gotten me other than I don't necessarily love the higher volume workouts. It's more time in the gym. And am I really getting better results than I was with Martin Burkhead style reverse pyramid training, lower frequency, taking more sets within within one rep of complete failure. And so given that I want to be spending less time in the gym over the next 3, 6, 9 months, I'm going to play with less time in gym, more intense, harder sets while I'm there, and less of a focus on doing everything I can to optimize muscle, whether that means being in a surplus all the time, whether that means getting at least a gram of protein per pound of body weight all the time, caring less about that, being okay with having lower calorie days, being okay if my protein's not optimized, and being okay if I'm not doing 100 sets per body part per week, like some of the recent science is saying is a good idea, because I have overweighted the most recent science relative to my own personal experience recently, and I'm gonna shift that more to like 80-20 experience rather than 80-20 science.
What do you think, like goal wise, if muscle mass isn't it, what do you think you're focused on?
Dude, I'm literally going to put myself in a 2014 mindset when it comes to strength training. I guess with the exception of here are the modifications I'm making from that time period. At that time, I was more dogmatic about exercise selection. I thought there were certain movements that everyone had to do or that were better for you. I'm now of the belief that pick the exercises that feel best for you for like a chest-supported dumbbell row, for example. There's so many examples of horizontal pulling motions. You can do a seated row. You can do a bent row. You can do a chest-supported row on a machine, which oftentimes doesn't feel good because the chest-supported row on the machine has a narrower bench, which for some reason like hits my sternum more differently than a wider bench where you have dumbbells. So personal preference on exercise selection is something I'm going to be prioritizing. Goal-wise, you asked now, get stronger, get leaner, get a little bit more aesthetic without the focus on maximizing muscle growth, partly because there's always been part of me that thought max muscle was aesthetic, but there's also part of me that's like, all right, it's not worth the amount of additional effort, sets, focus, optimize nutrition, optimize sleep, etc., to squeeze out those results. So yeah, get leaner, get stronger, and obviously feel good is a important component too, which means continuing to do a relatively extensive warm-up, doing some stretching, doing some mobility work, supersetting mobility work with some of that training I'm doing with the strength training, and leaning into what feels good for me, whether or not science backs it or not. It's like, okay, all the geniuses say don't use a lacrosse ball between sets because it doesn't do anything. Feels amazing when I use a lacrosse ball between sets. So I'm going to do some soft tissue work, even though it's quote unquote dumb. Yeah, and we'll see. Well, maybe I'll look like trash a year from now. I took some before pictures, so I'm excited about it.
Oh, did you?
I don't look good, and I and also like wasn't even performing at that high level. I'm excited to have better performance, be stronger, feel good, be leaner, look better, not be banged up, and spend half the time in the gym a year from now. It's also going to allow me to prioritize things like cardio, outdoor walks with the stroller, getting more steps in. Like that can take up some of the training time, but and just more time at home, more time with the family. 2 days a week training, maybe it'll go up to 3 eventually. I'm good with 2 for a while. Rather than being in there 3 to 4 times a week. I've never been I've been a 5+ guy for several years now, but I'm excited.
Do you still think you'll go to the gym, or is any part of you think you'll get more of a home gym setup?
This new gym is legit.
Oh, you love it. Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, in the future, I love the idea of a home gym specifically to set an example for a kid. I think we've talked about that, but just around it, see it. I think it's wonderful. I don't feel like taking that project on right now of building a home gym. Yeah.
I was I was talking with John Deloney the other day, and he told me every year, I forget if he said it was on his son's birthday or there's one time a year. For the sake of the story, we'll say it's on his son's birthday, but every year since his son was really young, they would do a mile race.
Okay.
Which I was like, damn, a mile's no joke, dude. Like a mile, it's not like a sprint. Like he was like, yeah, a mile is interesting because you can't fake it. He's like, you could fake a sprint, but like a mile is long enough where it's like you've really got to fucking you've got to have it in you. And this was the first year. I think his son is 15. His son beat him for the first time.
That's awesome.
And he was super excited about it. But I thought it's cool because especially as, you know, my oldest has gotten older. She's almost 3. She's starting to do like some pretty crazy shit. Like she did 10 hanging leg raises the other day.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. She had 10 hanging leg raises hanging from the monkey bars.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was funny because I'll always do stuff in front of her deliberately. So like when we go on the monkey bars, I'll do pull-ups. And so I was like, "Do you want to try?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want to try it." So you know how when you see a kid sees someone doing push-ups, they'll try and replicate it, but it never looks like push-ups. It's basically she tried to do pull-ups, but instead of pulling herself up, she just brought her legs up. So it turned into hanging leg raises.
Nice.
But like she did 10 legit hanging leg raises, hang there. And for me, like when I wake up in the morning, I get up. The first thing she'll say when she sees me is she's like, "Abba, I want to fly," which means like she wants me to throw her as high as I possibly can into the sky immediately, as soon as I wake up. There's no warm up. There's no coffee. It's like, doesn't matter how my back is feeling. Like I've just got to throw her as high as I can immediately. And this is consistent throughout the day. And so that for me has been a big shaper of how I approach my fitness in terms of what is my child demanding of me physically, right? And it's like, you know, I'm young, but I see other dudes around my age with kids around the same age who, bro, they can't run, they can't pick their kid up, like they can't bend over and put their kid in the crib because it's gonna hurt their back hurts when they round over and put them in the crib. It's it's the demands that your child. The demands that like I don't want there to be limits, right? I like no limits. It doesn't matter. If you want to run, we'll run. You want to do something strength wise, we'll do strength wise. If you like, I want 0 physical limitations ever. And I want my children to look at me and just be like superhero, like absolute superhero. Never hears me say I'm tired. Never hears me say like, oh, this hurts. Like if I have a cut, my daughter's like, oh, you have a boo-boo. I'm like, yeah, but it's okay. It doesn't hurt. I'm fine. I'm okay. It's like my daughter's recently, I don't know where she got it from, but she's been like, are there monsters in here? Are there monsters in here? And I'll be like, there are no monsters in this house. Do you know why? And she's like, why? I'm like, because they're scared of Abba. They're scared of me. Monsters are never coming in this house. And she's like, okay. Like it's just want like ultimate superhero vibes. And like same for my wife. Like it's that's one of the cool parts, as you said, about having the gym in the house. Like she sees both of us working out all the time. It's super cool.
I almost think that what you described, I don't want to say is automatic or like, because I can't speak to others' experiences. And clearly there are people who maybe get overwhelmed when parenting and things become harder and maybe their fitness falls off for certain periods of time. But there is an intrinsic motivation to be able to perform at the daily tasks necessary to be a great dad. And you just described a great one. Like, you know, wake up, maybe on minimal sleep, no coffee, no warm up. I'm just going to chuck this kid up as high as I can a whole bunch of times in a row.
Yep.
I'm doing a project out on the deck, getting some like privacy stuff and got these giant planters and a bunch of Home Depot runs, but loading these like 60, 70 pound bags of rocks into a cart and then into my trunk and then carrying from the trunk to the deck. Like even that, I'm like, this is pretty exhausting, but imagine if I didn't train. Like, would I even be able to do this? / if I did, how much higher is my risk of hurting my low back, pulling these awkward bags out of my trunk into my house, picking them up, setting them down, etc. And so, yeah, optimizing your training or incorporating the goal of being able to do the things necessary for your family is a massive motivator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just not be like, I'm 38 and just had my first kid. I don't want to be like an old soft dad. I don't want to like, like we're at like the soccer game. I don't want to be like the grandpa dad. Fine. You're 13 years younger than me. Cool. Like,
I'll
I
fucking
can still take you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. In anything.
Fuck. Yeah.
In anything.
Yeah. Let's go right now. I don't need a warm up. Let's go.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Yeah.
It's really cool for a kid to look at their parents and be like, yeah, my parents are fucking badass. And like they can do whatever. Like that's the ultimate.
The only note under the fitness changes dad mode that I had was just not caring about how I feel. And that's channeling some 2014 too. It's like, you're
like,
tired.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Nothing's changing because I'm tired, because I'm achy, because I didn't sleep good, because something's weird. Too bad. Like, go train.
It's relevant.
You don't have time to not feel good. That's not a thing anymore. And it's almost coincided with the lack of sleep is put me in a state where, I don't know, there's less perfectionism. There's less like everything needs to be right. There's less, I need like this energy drink to like just stupid stuff. It's like, whatever. I have an hour now. I have an hour and a half now. Great. I'm getting my workout in. I'm going to make it awesome.
It's all, I mean, even something you said before, you were like, you felt like, oh my God, I might end up taking 3 months off training. And you said, not doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's not an option. It's literally not an option to not work out.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever.
That's the mindset you have to adopt.
Mm-hmm. It's just not an option. If I have to work out at midnight, I'll work out at midnight. If I have to work out when I'm fucking exhausted, I'll do that. Like it's just not an option.
And this can be applied to, you're in grad school and you're working full time and you're super busy. Not an option. I'm not missing my workouts for a whole semester just because I had a busy course load. Modify your training as you need to. Get it in at whatever time you need to, but there is no skipping. And I think a lot of people...
Good.
Yeah.
Work out.
Good. You broke your leg? Good. Train your arms. There's something else about the not training for optimal muscle growth where workouts feel more enjoyable when I'm not doing that, which obviously increases adherence, increases performance over time.
You're preaching. You're talking my language now.
But also nutrition, when you're not worried about optimizing muscle growth, is so much easier to follow. Like,
bro, I've never agreed with you more on anything else except for these two things.
Yeah. It's not to mention, what are you gonna? Do you see three? Okay, let's say you're an intermediate or advanced lifter, never doing steroids, or at least not in the immediate future. How much muscle are you really gonna gain in a year? Let's call it even 5 pounds, which is way on the high end. Are you gonna see it? How much are you gonna see it? Are other people going to see it? Who is going to see it and who is going to care? Let's say you're doing this for a living, and as we know, what you can do in the gym and how you look as a result of it is part of the marketing of a personal trainer, like it or not. It's just how the world works. Does your ideal client want to train with someone who looks like Chris Bumstead? Sure, a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. And so it's unnecessary and unbelievably taxing. A year from now, I might be right back into it. I might be like, all right, I need more. I want to train more. I miss that feeling of being completely exhausted, doing more volume, having something to hyper focus on. So that could happen. But right now I'm very excited about this.
But also that extra 5 pounds. And again, this is for intermediate to advanced lifter, not someone who's new and needs to add that extra muscle. This is someone who already has a substantial amount, plenty for health. It's like, okay, So let's say you add that 5, never mind how it looks, never mind whether other people see it or not. Now it becomes, what are you missing out on in order to add those 5 pounds? Like the time you could have spent getting some zone 2 cardio in, the time you could have spent maybe doing a little bit of plyometric work for bone density and for reactive ability and athleticism and tendons and ligaments. Or what about that time you could have been spending to help like your cranky shoulder or your lower back or your knees? There's a cost to everything. And for a brand new individual who's never lifted and needs to add muscle, yeah, let's fucking do it. But for that intermediate to advanced lifter who you want to add those 5 pounds because either right now it's just building muscle is the thing to do in Instagram fitness, where it's like, you need more, you need more, you need more. It's like, I mean, at what point are you getting diminishing returns where you could be focusing on other shit? And so
that's a wonderful point. The opportunity cost of the extra time in the gym and all the amazing things you could be doing with that time. Not to mention, I said 5 because it's generous. It's really more like 3 per year, 2 to 3 per year. And that's if you're doing everything right.
Yep.
Like, not getting hurt too often, getting enough rest. Like, it's hard to continue to add muscle after, as a guy, you've gained 30 to 40 maybe over your training career, or as a woman, 15, 18, 20 plus pounds of muscle you put on. Like, squeezing out more muscle is not easy.
Yep.
And you're missing out on all of those amazing things that you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even if you weren't missing out on those things, the cost benefit of the effort to build that muscle to the benefit gained from having it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there health benefit from gaining 45 pounds of muscle versus 55 pounds of muscle over a training career? I don't know. I can't imagine it's big if there is one. And the health benefits of the other things you could be doing with your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Are massive.
All I need to do is look at the longest living populations in the world, the people who have like the longest life and the highest quality of life. And it's not the people who are the most jacked. It's the people who've been the most active, right? Which is an activity will build muscle to a certain point. And oftentimes, whether it's hiking or whatever, and people who take care of their health and they do strength training, but it's not the people who maximize their genetic muscular potential with muscle growth. It's they did enough. Their bone density is enough. Their strength is enough. Their muscle's enough. Their cardio is enough. Like, that's just it. The fitness industry right now is so hyper focused on, we need more muscle, more muscle, more muscle, that I think actually it's encouraging people to be like, let's start taking steroids so we get more muscle, more muscle, more muscle. It's like, hold on, bro. Like,
100%.
let's chill. Like, if your goal is to be Bumstead, if your goal is to get on stage and win, yeah, for sure. But if your goal is just to live longer and healthier and happier, give yourself the best chance to do that, and also be a fucking superhero, and like not just look a certain way, but be able to perform a certain way. I mean, that's just not where all your time should be spent.
Yep. That's right.
I think the best comment I've ever gotten on YouTube was within the last couple weeks. Someone commented, they were like, I think my favorite thing about Jordan is he's got such a sleeper build. She was like, he doesn't look jacked at all, but the shit that he can do in the gym is wild. I was like, that's it. Like, that's literally it. He's like, yeah. The amount of effort that it would take me to have a body that would be like, holy shit, look at this. Not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it at all. Doable if I put in the effort and I put in the time and I could do it. But I'm like, no.
You also like are underselling yourself. Like, you do have a really good physique. It's just compared to people on compared to people on social media,
yeah,
millions of followers, whose following is built on an incredible physique, lots of steroids, but still tons of effort and years or
meticulous
decades of dedication. Of course, it's unbelievably impressive. But when that's the metric for comparison in a society, in a community, in a group of people, it's like, okay, well, yeah, Jordan doesn't look like that, but you still look great.
Yeah. True. That's fair.
All right. What else should we talk about? Or are we doing a full dad episode?
Dude, I could dad talk all day. I mean, I can't believe you cried.
I told you like 2 or 3 months ago on the pod, or maybe off the pod. I think it was on the pod though. I was like, I cry a lot. You're like, what do you mean you cry a lot? I was like, I cry a lot, like in life. You're like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, I actually do. You didn't believe me. I think maybe you still don't believe me.
I still
but
don't believe you.
Okay, I do. I cry a lot. A lot of happy tears.
Your estrogen is so high, bro.
No, it's not. I promise. One, I've always cried. All right, put it this way. The same way that you have this outrageous level of fear and anger,
yeah,
and you can't relate to sadness at all, I can't relate to your, I mean, maybe a little, like with the kid now, but your level of fear and anger is something that I could be like, you're lying. You don't have that level of fear and anger.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Okay,
It's just,
that's fair.
yeah,
that's fair.
We're different. And I get emotional. And my tea is, by the way, the second that baby came out, my tea, because we've talked in past episodes, Mike's estrogen's high, like, and we talked about the evolutionary reasons for maybe the male in a domestic situation having lower T when the woman's pregnant makes sense. Woman gave birth, T's right back up.
Yeah.
Workouts off the charts, like T's right back up. T's in the 4 digits, probably. Probably 3. Probably 750 if I had to guess. When you kept saying to me, I'm so excited for you to be a dad. I'm so excited for you to be a dad. I didn't get it. And I thought you were just dailing, or I didn't really understand.
You thought I was dailing you on that one?
I don't, I couldn't relate to why you would be excited for me. I didn't, now I get it, because now I know the feeling. So now I will have that excitement for anyone else.
Yeah.
But previously, I just thought it was like something that you said to say something, or that something anyone said. I don't
know what to say, so I'm just going to say, no, I remember before I watched Game of Thrones, and it was before I watched Breaking Bad. Before you told me, you're like, I'm so jealous and I'm so excited for you that you get to watch this the first time again, because it's so, like, you never get it that first watch over again. I think it's similar, where it's like, I'm so excited for you to go through this, because it is such a it's a transformative experience, both Breaking Bad and having a child, obviously in different levels, but like it's an experience that you can't explain until you go through it.
But when you were saying that, I didn't understand it other than on paper. I was like, you sleep less, you change a lot of dirty diapers, you like can't like watch as many shows, you like lose these comforts, and I didn't know what was replacing them. And even though I maybe like from an academic or like a knowledge perspective knew what was replacing it, I didn't really know what was replacing those things until you feel it.
It's also a real mindfuck when, your parents are amazing. I know not everyone has incredible parents, but it's a mindfuck when you realize, oh shit, that's how your parents feel about you.
Yeah.
It's a real it's a real mindfuck when you're like, oh, when you told me that I couldn't possibly understand how much you love me, like, oh, got it. Now I get it.
Or it's yes, that, and it's the inverse of it. If you were abandoned by a parent, if you have like a deadbeat parent, if it's almost like, how could you?
Yeah. How in the world could you?
Yeah.
How in the world could you do that? Is there anything that listen, she's 11 days old. Is there anything that you're looking forward to specifically over the next 6 months, 12 months, like in a brief time period in the coming year or so?
It's more like I don't want time to pass, because I just want to relish every day and every moment and every, it's like go 4 hours without seeing her. It's like, oh my gosh, you're looking different. I don't know if she is, but it feels that way. No, I'm very in the moment in terms of, I don't know that I'm looking forward to anything right now other than the rest of today.
Yeah, I like that. I think the thing that surprised me the most is about this specific age is I remember there was a day when both my daughters were sleeping on my chest, like in between bottle feeds, or like, and then one day they weren't, and they were
Mm.
squirming. They didn't want me to. They weren't going to sleep on my chest anymore. They're like they're ready to just move, 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 move.
Mhm.
And so I was openly. I said, "Don't give me any advice. If there was any advice that I wish someone could have given me, and that is every nap on your chest just is the greatest thing ever. When
Mm.
she's just lying on your chest
Mhm.
sleeping,
Mhm.
that moment, there's no greater moment than that moment.
Yeah.
Because it's one day soon, she's gonna be like, I'm out, I'm crawling, I'm moving, I'm done. It's in yeah.
That's what you have said and others have said is the newborn stage goes by really fast. So I know it's hard, but enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
enjoy every moment. And I think that I don't know that I'm necessarily good at taking advice, but that makes sense to me and has landed. And so yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I think I have been doing a lot of boredom eating over the last 6 months without even knowing it.
Why?
I,
Is this like
I,
looking at your
I,
progress pictures? You're like, oh man.
yeah, the combination of that with like where I'm at with, yeah, no, not necessarily because I know what I look like. More looking at food choice over the last many months compared to how I felt when we were living out of the hospital for a week.
Mm.
Um, Historically, I've always thought I was a really good intuitive eater. And I think that's true for periods of time, but I always rein it back in with a month or 2 or 3 of tracking and having a goal. And I haven't reined it back in with tracking or having a goal in a while. And so the combination of a crisis of meaning in life and food being a comfort just led to me not being as in touch with physiological hunger, me gaining excess body fat, and me eating like stuff that I didn't have to for the wrong reasons many times over the last several months. And I realized in the hospital when I didn't really have access to those foods, how much better I felt. I was like, okay, 5 days into it, I'm like, all right, I would love to have a scale here because I've definitely lost some weight just from eating 1 or 2 full meals a day, not really snacking, and knowing my calories are like 1,000 lower per day than they have been on average, brought that perspective, which was cool.
What were you eating for? Just like I want that taste.
I think it's even further than that. I think it's I want to feel better.
Oh, you like a dopamine.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like um yeah, like I just want the same reason anyone goes after any cheap dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
A video game, a scrolling. Oh, it wouldn't be a I'm a dad episode without talking about scrolling. Dude, I have the apps on my phone and I haven't scrolled in over 2 weeks. It's like this replacement of excess time and needing to fill it and doing it with cheap comforts with now I don't have that excess time.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm bottle feeding, I got the kid in one hand, I got the bottle in the other, and that's it. There's no phone there. I can't be doing something else, and I don't even really want to be. It like really makes you present. That's been an interesting observation too. It's like my unconscious impulse over the last many months or even years during downtime, which I have a life that I built where I have a lot of it, has been for cheap dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
And this has removed that downtime. Having a kid has removed the downtime, which has in turn led to not having time or desire or as much desire for the cheap dopamine.
There's also along those exact same lines, you're focusing on what's directly in front of you. right? That's it. You've got your daughter, you got your wife. This is it. This is all that matters right now. Like, this is all I'm focusing on. When you've got extra time and very few meaningful problems, you go on social media, you scroll, you see what someone is saying that you disagree with, and you get all mad at them for daring to say something you disagree with. When it's like, that's just like when you know your life is really good, when you have the free time to go on social media and get pissed at someone that you've never met, that you don't know, you know nothing about them, but they said something that you think is offensive, and then you're commenting on it. Like, that's life is super good, and you've got a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Like, when you're what you're doing is what we're built and made to do, which is focus on ourselves, focus what's immediately in front of us, providing for your family, keeping them safe, keeping them healthy, keeping them alive. Like, that's what you're doing. And you don't have time to focus on the nonsense.
Yeah. Yep. Well said. It's like, if you don't have enough problems in your life, if your life is that easy, like mine was or has been, you go create drama through consumption. There's also an element of, I think, if you're not necessarily happy with how everything is going for yourself, you're more likely to experience emotions like anger or envy or like outrage about someone on the other side of the world doing something that doesn't even pertain to you. And then part of it is definitely algorithms and the technology and social, like the medium, the mode, like that also plays a role in it. But yeah, man. Because I remember when you said, I was like, how many reels do you think you consume a day? And you said a number that I thought was low. You said maybe like 150 or 200. And I was like, what? Because my guess was more like 500 to 1,000. I could scroll with the best of them. I could really doom scroll, and haven't been. So
yeah, I don't doom scroll that much. I mean, when you don't have much time, it's usually the majority of my time on social media is answering DMs and comments and creating. Like, I do scroll, but it's usually not. I don't think it's as like the average consumer scrolls.
You quote unquote doom scroll like the fitness fanatic who has like 300 extra calories of rice cakes and calls it a binge. Like, they binge.
Yeah.
Your I doom scroll is there. Oh my gosh, I binged.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly right.
By the way, there were flavored rice cakes at this hospital.
You like them?
They are delicious.
All right. That's ridiculous. They're not delicious.
They're delicious.
No.
They're delicious. They're delicious. The texture, this
Which flavor?
Apple cinnamon and caramel.
Like, of course you like the sweetest one.
So, does that make more sense? Or because I have a sweet tooth?
No, because you love your sweet tooth. Like, you like sweet stuff.
I liked the buttermilk ranch too. And the macros are insane. I like things that aren't super fat heavy.
Yeah.
And there's no gluten in them. I think if you are have any intolerances to gluten, not to set you off, Jordan. I know rice cakes aren't your favorite, but
no, it's actually really funny because I'll show you. There's a woman who listens to the podcast who tagged me in her story today. Let me see if I can find it. Lulu Fitness. Shout out Lulu Fitness.
Shout out Lulu.
She literally posted this story today. I don't know if you can read it. She said repeatedly, Saya Fitness repeatedly telling us how this is his favorite snack. And she held up the rice cake. And I sent her a message and I said, hi, you're amazing. And then she sent me a voice memo back, which I haven't replied to, just being like, I love the podcast with you and Mike, da-da-da-da-da. And so it's funny that today of all days, you bring that up. Listen, here's what I'll say. The plain rice cakes are gross. Like, they suck, just straight up. The flavored ones they have good flavor. They still make an absolute mess and get all over you.
Dude, these are bite-sized though.
Okay, those are actually better. The bite-sized ones are better because they don't make as much of a mess. They're crispier. They're not as flaky. So I agree. Like, the bite-sized chip ones are significantly better.
Okay,
I'll give
cool.
you that. But when I say delicious, like the word delicious,
I might have
That's
just
not
been
a
trying to set
rice
you off a
cake.
little bit.
You were 100%. Delicious is like, hey, bro, we're going to go to Gordon Ramsay's steakhouse and get like this unbelievable world-class steak. Or we're going to get like this. I would be okay if you said Talenti is delicious, that ice cream that you love. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Mhm.
Not a rice. I don't care. Rice cakes, bro. I'm trying to think of if that'd be like if I was like, bro, brand buds are delicious. You'd be
You
like,
said
come.
that. You said that recently.
I
but
misunderstood. I
I know
thought you
you
were
thought it
talking
was
about Raisin Bran, which
which
are actually a really great cereal.
but is Raisin Bran the same as Gordon Ramsay's?
No, it's not. It's not.
So not quite delicious, but
Super good
you have
cereal.
super good. All right, that's good.
Yeah, you could
Just
say
good.
those chip-sized rice cakes are super good. I'm fine with that.
And do you know when they're even more super good?
When you use them as a vehicle to bring something else in your mouth at the same time.
No.
Oh.
No. Sure, but they're super good when you are in a calorie deficit and you're genuinely hungry
Oh
and
yeah.
you physiologically like want glucose in your muscle cells and your bloodstream and you're like actually you're not just looking for something to satisfy your taste buds or your mouth feel or whatever, but you genuinely have only consumed 900 calories and it's like 6 or 7 p.m. and you've eaten a bunch of protein and you're craving something sweet. They're super good.
Yeah. Agreed. I can agree with that. I like adding them for texture. So like if I'm on I don't know, sometimes if I have it with cottage cheese or something, just gives a nice little crunch to it. So yeah, if I'm going to have it, I'll probably add it for texture.
Cool. You know what we had at Mother's Day as a little appetizer on Sunday? Hummus.
Wow. Was it good?
It was really good, actually.
Oh, let's
I don't know where it came from, but
Was
my
it at
sister,
your sister's
my
house?
sister's house, yeah, she sourced well. I don't know where she got it.
Good for her. She got it from a Middle Eastern place?
I have no idea. Maybe.
Did you have it with some pita?
No pita. There were like crackers and vegetables and all kinds of different vegetables. Yeah.
You have any olive oil?
No olive oil.
You're going to be on that olive oil train within a couple years.
So I went on Twitter the other day on my desktop, and I think I got through like 7 tweets before I was like, all right, I don't need to be on here. But one of them was like a right-wing bro-y influencer. You know,
Okay.
like the subtype basically. Like and by the way, no hate whatsoever. But the eats off the cutting board and only eat certain
Liver
types of food.
King.
Yeah, but not to that extreme. But
Okay.
just has the vibe and was drinking olive oil out of the bottle, and I was like, this is amazing. 'Cause I like when you've had your seed oil thing with RFK. I just like seeing you get aligned. I like you being aligned with both sides. And
Dude, I've got
made me
opinions on
chuckle.
both sides, 100%. Yeah.
Well, most
But
people
I feel like
do,
both
actually.
sides agree that olive oil is amazing.
Yeah, but it's the clickbaity, attention grabby nature of a tan shirtless man tan shirtless man chugging it out of the bottle. That's like sensationalistic and for content.
Yeah.
But it made me think of you, and I chuckled. And then I X'd out. I was like, get off this app.
Smart.
I guess this is a PSA. If anyone else finds themselves in what I was describing, where maybe you're a seasoned nutrition tracker and you know what you're doing, but you find yourself in a period of life where you're eating more than you want to, and maybe you are emotionally eating a little bit and just kind of veering aimlessly, a 30-day challenge of having some type of goal and then tracking your food for 30 days is really enough to get you back on the straight and narrow. It's a strategy we talk about in the mentorship when coaches in the group ask about specific client situations they have during our weekly Q&As. We talk about it a lot, but that 30-day challenge, whether you're a coach, whether you're a fitness enthusiast, no matter who you are, can be really effective for a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a surge in motivation, and just getting you back on track during a period of stagnation or struggle.
Dude, I'm a big 30-day challenge guy. Just fucking, you can't do it for 30 days. Are you really that committed?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with anything, if you can't do anything for 30 days, you got to have a real honest, subjective conversation with yourself.
That's right.
That's it.
All right. We'll wrap here.
Good podcast, Dad.
Great podcast, Dad. Jordan Dad. Fitness business mentorship sale very, very soon. Get ready. Keep listening to episodes for the official drop, but the $500 discount for the mentorship is going to come into play very soon.
Get on the email list if you want. Link is in the show notes. Send you a free PDF as well. But if you want to make sure you hear when the sale goes live. Obviously on the podcast we'll announce it, but if you want to make sure you can definitely see it and don't miss it, get on the email list so we can alert you about that. But that's it. Thank you for listening. Please leave a 5-star review. Talk to you soon.